Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Phil Jacobs, and I have the privilege and pleasure of serving as the chairman of the Eastlake Foundation Board. And it's my job tonight to welcome you all here. This is actually the fifth time we have hosted Party on the Green here, the fifth year in a row. And it's the eighth time that we have had the Eastlake Cup here. Last year, we decided to combine those two events, and it was such a great success that we've decided to continue that tradition this year and in the future. So again, thank you all for being here, for your participation, but most of all for your support of golf, of the Eastlake Foundation, and of the organization. So thank you. With that, I want to introduce our CEO of the foundation, Ely Askia. Ely?
Good evening. Oh, good, you all are a call and response crowd. I love that. Former Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm once said, "Service is the rent you pay for time here on this earth." I am happy to serve as the Eastlake Foundation's newest president and CEO, a community that gave to me so much when I first came to Atlanta 18 years ago. I knew absolutely no one. I came with a 5-month-old and a husband that was so excited to do social justice impact work in the state of Georgia. A friend of a friend told me to go to the Eastlake YMCA because they take your baby at that time for 2 hours. Where's Joe? I know he's somewhere around here. 2 hours while you work out, because I knew no one. And when I tell you this community opened their arms and welcomed me, my daughter Aliyah, and my husband John. And for 12 years, before I knew the history of this fabulous community, my kids learned to play soccer, t-ball, ballet, karate, basketball, and I made my husband coach them all. I had no idea about what was in the 80s and 90s. I had no idea that many people in this room collectively got together because you wanted to transform this community. I had the luxury, I lived in Southwest Atlanta at the time. I had 4 weeks to find a house I didn't know. I benefited from the work that many of the people in this room did. And so for me, as the new head of the Eastlake Foundation, it is my honor to take the next umpteen years and give back to a community that gave so much to me and my family. So I welcome you all tonight. For many of you, this is your first night just as mine. And so we're gonna have a great old time partying on the green. But let me tell you a little bit about the Eastlake Foundation for those of you who are not aware. We are continuing our mission to make sure that the children of Eastlake, the families of Eastlake, live in affordable, quality housing. We will provide the wellness resources for everyone and make sure that it's accessible. And economic mobility is prioritized and is a must. Last year, as Phil said before, we combined Party on the Green and the Eastlake Cup. So I hope you like this because hopefully we'll continue to do this year after year. And these two signature events bring together some magnificent, diverse people. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Eastlake Cup, the Eastlake Cup is Golf Channel's annual collegiate match play tournament. That video got me pumped up, ready to play golf. So we are bringing the NCAA's 4 men's and women's teams together for 3 days of intense competition. Generous support from the Eastlake Cup and Party on the Green supported last year's initiatives. So I want you all to understand what your dollars mean to this organization. Our school, Drew Charter School, is the first K through 12 STEAM certified school in the state of Georgia. Okay, wait a minute now. Drew's board chair is here, and she's not gonna be happy unless y'all cheer. We are the first K through 12 STEAM school in the state of Georgia. And that would not be possible without the support of many people in this room. Tonight's event is helping to support our Cradle to College Education Initiative, which helps children reach their highest potential, and also to continue to support our families in this community who are still feeling the effects of COVID-19. I want to thank all of the sponsors that you will see going around the video monitors today, and all of you who are present tonight for your generous support of all the great work that our partners do to ensure that everyone has access. As we party through the night, you'll see around the room, in all these many rooms at this beautiful club, a QR code. Please continue to give to support our students as you have a great night. And then I'm going to tell you a young lady that's going to inspire you. And when you hear something tonight, through the night, whether you're talking to someone one-on-one, where you see a video, or someone is standing on the stage, whip out, go to that QR code, and if they move you and inspire you, make another donation. It's my job to raise money, y'all. But I'd like to introduce someone that I met a few months ago, an inspiring young woman. She's a senior at Drew Charter School, and she's going to be our MC for tonight. Please help me welcome Eleanor Jones.
Thank you, thank you. My name is Eleanor Jones. I am a senior at Drew Charter School, and I'm thrilled to be here to serve as your MC tonight. Just a little bit about me. I've been at Drew since 10th grade. I'm a dedicated student, and I do what I can to be active in my school community. I'm also a serious athlete, and I am proud to say that I am the captain of Drew's varsity volleyball team. I also represent my school as the chairwoman of the Atlanta Public Schools Student Advisory Council. Just a little bit about something I really value about my Drew experience is the Next Steps counseling team that's really supportive to seniors applying to college. This time is kind of crucial for seniors, and it can be stressful, but my college counselors make sure that I have the resources that I need to be successful in my college and career plans. So moving on to the Eastlake Cup. Each year, to kick off the Eastlake Cup, we are proud to formally present the 8 talented teams who will be competing during this year's tournament. We're also proud to present the Tom Cousins Award, which recognizes one man and one woman who excels not only on the golf course, but also in their communities. Presenting this year's teams and the winners of the Tom Cousins Award is Ms. Lillian Giornelli, who serves as the president of the CF Foundation, an Eastlake Foundation board member, and the daughter of Tom Cousins. Welcome.
I vote that Eleanor does this job next year. They make me do it every year. And I have to say that over the 8 years that I've been doing this, it's pretty interesting. The kids are getting younger and my hair is getting grayer. So I'm delighted to be with you all tonight and really happy to see dear friends in the room and family members of the Drew community. And so welcome. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Before I present the teams and the Tom Cousins Award winners, I'd like to recognize and thank you all for joining us, especially the members of the Yates family, who very graciously, if all of you who are their friends know, they are very humble, and it was hard to talk them into doing this. So we really are privileged and honored that you agreed to let us do this. And what I wanted to say, later you'll sort of see in the film, you'll understand sort of why it's so important that we recognize the Yates family, because the history of the Yates family is in fact the history of this community. It's intertwined, I mean, probably even more so, or even equal to Bobby Jones, a family that has had an impact on this community and vice versa. And what I also want to say is when we talk about, I want to single out one person in the Yates family in particular, when we have talked about over the years the heroes who helped create this new vision in this community, we recognize Eva Davis, we recognize Tom Cousins, we recognize Renee Glover, and I'd like to add to that list Charlie Yates Sr., who without his commitment, enthusiasm, and support of Tom and Ms. Davis at the team at the very beginning, using his Rolodex and his relationships to help get this thing started, it wouldn't have happened. So y'all just remember that day when we talk about that. I'm also here to recognize, I know y'all can all read, but they'd like for me to recognize all of our Eastlake Cub sponsors, ZipRecruiter, Worldwide Technology, Bridgestone Golf, and Full Swing. This tournament would not be possible, as Ely said, without your generous support. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the teams that will be competing in this year's tournament. I hope y'all all get a chance, one, to meet these young people while they're here today, or come out over the next 3 days and watch the play or watch it on the Golf Channel, because what you don't recognize or may not understand is that you are seeing the future of the PGA, the LPGA Tour, and the golf community in general. Some of the folks who, names you might recognize, who have participated in the Eastlake Cup over the years, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland. So again, you know, just recognize that this is the future of golf, and we're so excited that everybody's here with us tonight. So I'm going to talk about representing the women's Final Four at the NCAA. We'd like to recognize the Auburn Tigers. If y'all stand and wave so everybody can recognize you. And I won't say War Damn Eagle, but I think I just did. The Texas A&M Aggies. There you go. The University of Oregon Ducks. And the UCLA Bruins. And we're not going to mention anything about that football game that happened earlier today. Representing the men's, the University of Texas Longhorns. Got them. The Pepperdine University Waves. See them out in the crowd. Vanderbilt University Commodores. Ooh, I'll stand up. And the Arizona State University Sun Devils. So we're looking forward to great golf over the next 3 days. As many of you know, one of the Eastlake Cup traditions is recognizing the recipients of the Tom Cousins Award, which honors student athletes who excel academically, on the golf course, and through engagement in their community. Our first honoree has had an excellent grasp of his stature as a student athlete and the unique gift that that platform presents. From volunteering with the Young Men's Service League to volunteering with the first tee of Greater Austin, his passion for golf and community service has been integral to his identity. What's most important to him, however, is the impact he and other student athletes can make on the next generation. He states, "Even through the smallest gesture, giving our attention and appreciation to the youth is essential in inspiring their journey as student athletes. I have Scotty Scheffler to thank for allowing me to realize that our treatment of others can significantly impact their aspiration. It's my goal to be a role model to youth golfers and show them that we are defined by our treatment of others and not the golf score." Please join me in congratulating the 2022 Male Tom Cousins Award winner, Cole Sherwood, representing Vanderbilt University.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How are we going to do this?
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, down. First off, I'd like to thank the Cousins family and the Eastlake Foundation for everything they've done in the community over the past few years, and it's truly inspiring seeing how many lives they can impact. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of my teammates in Vanderbilt University. Over my last 2.5 years at Vanderbilt, I've realized the impact that our student athletes can make on the youth. I believe that we have the opportunity and the responsibility to inspire those and positively impact their lives. I challenge each of us to use golf as a way to make a difference in someone's life. And we can all do something through golf to grow the game and the future. Whether it's playing 9 holes with the young boy or girl we always see at the range, or giving our old clubs to someone who needs them more than us, our efforts are truly more appreciated than we know. Thank you again for the Cousins family and the Eastlake Foundation. And go down.
And actually, before I go on to the women's thing, I did forget to acknowledge our friends at the Golf Channel, who have been incredible partners with this since the very beginning, and we love working with them, so thank you very much. Our second honoree perfectly embodies the spirit of this award. She possesses a wonderful perspective on how golf and her platform as a student athlete can make an impact on others. Like most student athletes, golf has opened doors for her and provided her with some amazing opportunities. Over the last couple of years, she's been reminded that sometimes the smallest connections often have the biggest impact on the lives of others. She states, "Some moments present hidden opportunities to make lasting impact on others' lives. This is true for everyone, not just golfers and student athletes. However, as collegiate golfers, we are given a platform that allows us to take advantage of this more often than many others. I can't wait to see where the next hidden opportunity takes me." Oh. I know y'all are sitting on the edge of your seats. Excuse me. Here we go. Please join me in congratulating the 2022 Female Tom Cousins Award winner, Ashley Sinclair Curtis, representing Auburn University. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. I will.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking Eastlake Golf Club for hosting us this week. This is a remarkable venue, and we are blessed to be here and honored to have you serve as our host. Receiving this award tonight is an incredibly humbling experience. I'm honored to have had my coach nominate me, and even more so, honored to have had the committee select me. Tom Cousins is an incredible inspiration to us all, and I'm extremely flattered to receive an award bearing his name. His work in establishing the Eastlake Foundation and purpose-built communities represents a servant's heart and a belief in people and what people can achieve if only given an opportunity. His organizations have provided thousands of opportunities for people across the nation, and I look forward to seeing the many more that they will continue to provide in the future. I would like to take the time to thank my coaches for their continuous love and support of me both on and off the golf course. If it were not for this support, I would not be able, nor have the confidence, to do all the things that I'm blessed to be able to do. I also want to thank my teammates that I do not deserve. They have been incredibly supportive of me in all of my endeavors, and they are patient when I know I've tried their patience, and they're encouraging when I need encouragement, and they're always there for me when I need them. And God has truly used them in a remarkable way to teach me more about life and how to love in the past 2 years than I ever knew I needed to know. And I'm incredibly grateful to call them family. I have to be honest and say I don't feel as though I am entirely deserving of this award this evening. I believe, as God's word tells us, to beware of practicing your righteousness before men to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. Service is not an action. It's a heart posture. And we've all been called to serve. And while at times I have fallen short of true service, I would like to be an encouragement to all of us tonight to take advantage of every opportunity we have to serve our fellow man, and to do so with the purest of hearts. Tonight, I wish to act as a mirror, reflecting all praise, honor, and glory to my Lord and Savior, who by his incredible grace and mercy allows me to live this life that I get to live every day. Special thanks again to the Eastlake Club, the Eastlake Foundation, and Golf Channel for all of their work this week. I wish each of you the best of luck this week. Thank you, and War Eagle.
Congratulations again to Cole and Ashley, and an even bigger congratulations to the amazing teams joining us to compete this year, representing amazing universities from around the country. We have two very special Eastlake golf teams with us this evening, our Charles Ardrey Charter School girls and boys varsity golf teams. Will our coaches and players please stand and be recognized? This year's Party on the Green honors the Yates family and the children of Eastlake. The Yates family has had a long and wonderful history in Eastlake and continues to be highly engaged in Eastlake's education and golf landscape. Please enjoy this video tribute.
Most Sundays, after church, we would head over to my grandparents, and all the cousins would come. So there were 4 siblings, and we would all gather at Mamie and Pappy's house.
It was a great big house, 2-story, and you would be on 2nd Avenue. The steps leading up to it are still there. At Christmas, we would come from Birmingham, and all of our Yates cousins who lived here in town would come for a big Christmas dinner. And all those cousins were all Georgia Tech fans, and all of us were Georgia fans. And there would be food fights, I think, and they would chase us around the house.
We would be given sawed-off golf clubs, and this herd of cousins would head out on the golf course.
And we'd get out and play golf late in the afternoon on the number 2 course that backed up to their house. And we would play and play, and then my grandmother would holler at us to come back in. We all congregated there, which was really special.
And I remember my Uncle Alan coming back from World War II. He was on Iwo Jima. Here came Uncle Alan with his rucksack over his back, coming in the front door, and I remember that so well.
The neighborhood was obviously a very special place with a lot of wonderful people we met, lifelong friends.
Early Eastlake was a place of affluence and opportunity and relationships, and for my dad and his siblings, it was a place of promise that anything was possible, including the impossible.
My mother used to come through here in the 70s and just be so sad to see the way the street looked and the way the house looked.
For my dad, nothing grieved him more on the same ground where everything was possible. He saw children for whom nothing was possible. They had been completely abandoned by all services, school system, police, fire, whatever it was, left to themselves in the most, horrific way.
People were sleeping on the floor or in bathtubs because of all the crime and all the horror that was going on constantly.
A community filled with drugs, shootings, prostitution, stabbings.
Problems of poverty, disenfranchisement, disillusionment, alienation.
What's really sobering and much worse is that black parents had moved to Eastlake in search of the same opportunity.
Eva Davis, in the first meetings, she made it very clear who is in charge. And let there be no doubt, it was Eva Davis.
My grandmother, Eva Davis, wanted to see different. And she wanted better living conditions. She wanted safety. Because you can build buildings, but you still have to stabilize the buildings. You have to stabilize the community. People need to be stable.
Somebody said, Tom Cousins is going to buy up the club and try to partner with the neighborhood. And probably the highest compliment that I can give him is that's the craziest idea I've ever heard of. Someone like Mr. Cousins who's seen it and can't unsee it, you end up with a moral imperative. Which side of this centuries-old conspiracy am I on? The stunning thing about the Drew story is that it's just a few hundred yards away from the Civil War trenches on the Eastlake golf course where Southern soldiers were trying to literally stop the pursuit of freedom and the march of freedom.
I've been a part of this community for over 10 years now. I first started here back in 2010 when I was looking for a school for my daughter. What I was looking for was a community feeling, close-knit, where parents and teachers stay involved, and that's what I got. Graduated 2018, went straight to Kennesaw State University, full scholarship, graduated in 4 years. She's a kindergarten teacher, maybe 2 miles away from here. She wanted to stay in this community as well and service kids and parents in this same community.
My name is Eleanor Jones. I am a 12th grader here at Drew. As soon as I graduate, I want to study mass communications. I do think education is a gateway for students to kind of explore and dabble in things that maybe they might not have the opportunity to at other schools without such a vicinity to opportunities like that. Student voices are not just valued in the school building, but also in the community. And it just kind of makes me feel like reassured and heard that my voice is not just confined to, these four walls.
When you come to Drew, everybody's given the same hand of cards, basically. In order to be great and do great things, you have to want it for yourself, but they want it for you as much as they possibly can. It's up to you with the pushing that they're doing and giving you and the rigor of everything that they're doing to kind of just embrace it and accept it and rise to the challenge. It goes without saying that Drew's had an immensely impactful experience on me personally. So I can't be anything but grateful.
I remember sitting on our back porch watching the school getting built. We would sit out on Saturday mornings and you could see it from my balcony, and we were so excited.
I think it's wonderful that school is there. I was thoroughly impressed. I could not believe that facility. It's just wonderful. And to be in my grandparents' and great-grandparents' and my great-aunts' backyards, it's just absolutely something that they would never have dreamed.
It's not just about each child finding their way, but about a community where children recognize their chance to make a difference.
My father died 5 years ago, but he came out here every year to the tournament, so he was very well aware of what was going on, and he was very proud.
They would all be very proud to ride down the streets and see that it has rejuvenated and come back to what they thought it always was, just a wonderful place to live.
That was really beautiful. I'd like to now invite the Yates family members who are with us this evening to join me on stage, please. Thank you for your incredible and sustained commitment to Eastlake and the Eastlake neighborhood. You are an inspiration. I am proud to present you with this framed photo. I'm not sure where the photo is, but I'm proud to present you with this framed photo of the Charles R. Drew Charter School Junior and Senior Academy at the Yates campus.
Is there oh, there's a camera out there, yeah.
You cousins get up.
Go ahead, Daddy. Go ahead.
Go ahead. He wants you to squeeze in. Come on.
Come on. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Daddy.
Are we going to squeeze in for a picture? The
Oh,
ball,
we're-
the ball.
Oh, yeah.
The ball.
That's a joke.
Oops.
We got the family out front.
Yeah.
We're here. Is that it?
Are you getting us together? All right, good.
Here we go.
Unrehearsed. Good evening. I'm Danny Yates, and we're most appreciative of all of you being here and supporting the foundation. Our family is incredibly humbled and honored for this special event. My Uncle Charles that was mentioned, he said, Tom Cousins, if anybody can do this at Eastlake, he said this 30 years ago, he can do it. And he's the only human being I know. And Lillian, it's incredible what y'all have done. But thank you. And it's a special place. And Comer, do you want to?
Yeah.
Thank y'all very much.
Oh, again, thank you, everybody, and thank you to the golf teams that are here today. This is hallowed ground for lots of different reasons. So by your playing this week, you're advancing the progress that is something that is etched in the history of Eastlake going back 150 years, and then with Tom Cousins' work. I do want to address the Eastlake, the Drew Charter School golf team real quickly, and their coach, Mr. Weems, and I don't know if Mr. Powell is here tonight or not, to thank y'all. When my dad, a lot of people would talk about our dad and say, boy, your dad is a great golfer. And then I'd always say, yeah, but he was a better person. And after being with y'all yesterday and knowing about y'all, the same certainly applies to the Drew golf team. Y'all are wonderful, great players and better people, making a difference for your community. Mr. Weems, great thanks to you. I will say that, go ahead. I learned yesterday that y'all have moved up a division this year, right? And the Eastlake team is stepping up their game to meet the new competition. Well, it's time for all of us to step up our game in support of them. We're so proud for y'all. Lastly, I'll just comment on my aunt and two uncles and my dad. The thing I know all the cousins feel about them is when you were in their presence, they just believed in you unconditionally, that you mattered to them and they couldn't wait to be with you. All of us, they just had that incredible ability. When I think about that, Lee, and I think about how generous they were, then I'm just in awe that your dad was that way for all the children of Eastlake, to believe in them unconditionally. And the children of Eastlake and the families of Eastlake have responded to that belief in such a powerful way. And Tom Cousins, because of his work, beat the odds for so many children. The charge today in 2022 for all of us, if all of us follow him, it is far past time to change those odds that never should have existed in the first place. And I hope that's our path forward together. We're grateful to the Cousins family and grateful to all of y'all. And good luck this week in the tournament. Thank y'all.
So I'm holding you, I'm the last person up, I'm holding you between the bar, the band, and lots of partying tonight and giving. I want to first thank our host committee for this wonderful, so our host committee members, if you could please stand and be recognized, or not. They're all in the back. Without them, this tonight would not be possible. I would like to also thank our sponsors, our generous sponsors for this event, the Eastlake Golf Club and all of his staff and wonderful people that have welcomed us, our Eastlake Foundation partners who are all here with us this evening, and most importantly for me, a team that welcomed me and made me feel like I was back at home. My team, Misha, Sharon, Jesse, Jennifer, Ty, Dwayne, Catherine, Brittany. I thank you for welcoming me to this family. And more importantly, the woman who put this all together, Ms. Janine Blanco. So please give them a round of applause. So I will end the way I started with a quote from Margaret Mead, and many of you probably heard it, but it's so relevant for this community tonight. And you can say it with me if you know it by heart. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, is the only thing that ever has. What I have learned in my 6 weeks on this job, that the Eastlake community, it is one family, one community, one Eastlake. Have a good evening and have fun partying tonight.